I was lying on the couch, my laptop open but no longer useful. My eyes were fixed on the message that had just popped up on my phone. Just a heads up so you're not surprised. The guest list for this weekend's party is final. There isn't enough space, so we had to cut a few people. Hope you understand. The message was from Noah, my younger brother, who had just returned from his 18-month military service. I had sent him care packages all the way to Germany, stayed up through time zone differences just to support him when he was feeling down, and now, just like that, I was excluded from his welcome home party. I stared at the screen, waiting for another text, a joke or some kind of reassurance. But nothing came. Just a cold, matter-of-fact exclusion. No explanation, no apology. The sting was sharp. It wasn't the fact that I wasn't invited that hurt, but the realization that he didn't care. He didn't see anything wrong with it. And worse, I was angry at myself for always being there for him, too trusting, too quick to forgive. I had given so much and expected nothing in return, but I felt like I was being taken for granted. I called Dad, who had been excitedly talking about this party for weeks. He'd planned the menu, booked live music, and rented a projector for a highlight reel. The phone rang twice before he picked up. "Hello, Vic. What's going on, sweetheart?" he asked in his usual tone. I didn't beat around the bush. "Noah just texted me. I'm not on the guest list. You knew about this, didn't you?" There was a pause on the other end, followed by a long sigh. The kind I knew too well. The kind he used when he didn't want to deal with something. "Vic, don't overreact," he said, sounding uncomfortable. "It's just a family gathering. Space is tight, you know that." I bit my lip, trying to keep my voice calm, but it felt like every word was a cut to my chest. Not enough space? I just saw Noah's Instagram post. Over 80 people on the list. Distant relatives, elementary school friends, co-workers. But I'm not important enough to be there? Another sigh from Dad. "Those people RSVP'd early. It's hard to take anyone off now. Don't take it personally, sweetheart." I gripped the phone, my knuckles white. Don't take it personally? I was there when he was a nervous wreck in his first uniform. I stayed up all night talking him through tough training days, and now you're telling me not to overreact? Dad sighed again, his voice filled with exhaustion. "Don't make this into a thing. It's just a party. One night." I didn't respond. My heart was pounding, like a warning that something was about to break. I hung up, my hand trembling, eyes still fixed on Noah's message. I scrolled through old photos and texts, his grateful messages when I sent homemade cookies, the heart emojis after I had his favorite takeout delivered. Those old messages where he said, "Without you, I probably would have given up already," now felt hollow, like a distant dream. I stood up, my heart echoing with silent noise. I wasn't angry at Noah for crossing me off. I was angry because he didn't care. He didn't even see the problem. And most of all, I was angry at myself for always being the one to give, to sacrifice, to put family first, without asking for anything in return. The sky outside the window was a dull gray, heavy like my chest. But in that moment, I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't going to sit around waiting for permission to exist anymore. I was done with being the good sister, the one who always played the supporting role no matter the cost. I walked into my small home office where stacks of design drafts cluttered my desk. I opened a drawer and pulled out a small USB stick, the design file for Noah's welcome home poster. I had created it for free without being asked, because I thought that's what family did. I remembered staying up until 2 a.m. just to find the perfect font Mia liked. It was something delicate, elegant, with soft curves. She sent me a heart emoji after I emailed the final draft. Noah never said thank you, but I didn't mind. I thought it was enough if it made him happy. I remembered when he texted me during a training break, saying his car had broken down. "I don't know what to do," he wrote. Without hesitation, I transferred $500, a simple note saying, "Fix your car, don't stress." When Noah left for basic training, Mom didn't know how to pack his bags, and Dad was tied up at the repair shop. I was the one who ran around town, bought the right military backpack, printed his packing checklist, and woke up at 4 a.m. to drive him over an hour away to his military station. And now, I wasn't even invited to his welcome home party. I turned on my computer and opened a photo folder labeled Noah's Journey. It was filled with everything from his awkward first uniform photo to screenshots of our video calls. His eyes always sparkled even when he was in some makeshift room somewhere in Europe. I found a message from Mia. "Vic, I know Noah texted you. Honestly, I was surprised you weren't invited too, but please don't take it personally. Noah just didn't want the party to get too crowded." I read her words, my heart turning colder with each passing second. Not because of what she said, but because of how they all talked about me. As if I were a burden. As if I were the one ruining the atmosphere. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I closed my laptop and walked to the window. The night had fully fallen, the streetlights glowing in West Portland, where I'd lived for nearly 6 years. Over 1,000 miles from my parents, but I was always the one who came back when they needed something. I had always been there, paying the bills when Dad needed help, flying Mom to her medical appointments, arranging her schedule. I was always willing. But now I began to ask myself, how many times had I given without ever receiving? How many times had I sacrificed because I thought I was supposed to? Because I was the good older sister? I didn't know how long I stood there before. My phone buzzed again. It was a message from Dad. "Vic, please don't overthink this. It's not worth getting upset over. Please understand Noah. He just wants a peaceful evening. No tension." I let out a bitter laugh. No tension? So I'm the tension? The next morning, instead of sitting at home stewing in anger, I grabbed my bag and headed to Hazel's Brew, a corner cafe I like to visit on weekends. The air in Portland was crisp with early spring, the scent of cinnamon waffles and soft jazz music filling the cafe. I ordered my usual, an unsweetened almond milk latte and an apple tart, and found a spot by the window. Then I overheard a conversation from 2 people behind me. Victoria didn't see her name on the guest list for Noah's welcome back party. Maybe she did something to upset him, Laya, my cousin, said. I heard she used to be kind of controlling, Jenna added. Maybe she stopped helping with money. I heard she used to wire him some cash when he was in a bind, but now... Radio silence. I forced myself not to turn around. The words sliced through me, and I realized this wasn't gossip. This was confirmation. To them, I was the extra, the one who didn't belong, the one they could cross off without a second thought. I felt empty, like I had been erased from my own family's story. But I wasn't the one causing drama. I wasn't the one stirring the pot. I had simply stopped, being the silent supporter, the one who always put others first without asking for anything in return. I walked out of the cafe, my coffee untouched. I needed to leave, to get away, to find space where I could breathe. I booked a solo trip to White Pine Lodge in Wyoming, a cozy, isolated cabin nestled in the snow-covered pines. I clicked book without hesitation. No more second-guessing, no more waiting for someone else's approval. When I arrived at the lodge, I felt a sense of calm wash over me. No messages, no guilt-tripping voices, just the peaceful quiet of nature. I posted a photo of the cabin on my social media with the caption, "Not on the list? Then make your own list." The reactions from my family came immediately. They blamed me, told me I was acting childish. But I didn't care. For the first time, I felt free. A few days later, I got a call from my cousin, Carla. She told me that Mia had walked out of the party after throwing a mocktail at Noah when she caught him. Flirting with his ex, it was chaos. I laughed, but not from happiness, just from the absurdity of it all. At that moment, I realized the truth. They made their own mess, and I wasn't going back to clean it up. I had chosen myself, and that choice had never felt clearer. I wasn't about to let anyone erase my story anymore. What do you think about Victoria's decision? Should she go back, or should she continue following her own path? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful family stories.